The market is rapidly changing, but the people who win in this type of a market are the ones who are aware of everything that's going on, who are taking active steps to keep their skills current, to keep their network strong, because you want to invest in all of these things before you need it, right? Like I know the market has been affected by a lot of layoffs and just a lot of general churn. And nobody should be waiting for that to happen. Like, you should be proactively taking steps to sort of make sure you're in the best position possible, regardless of what happens, which is not in your control.
Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Engatica interview series. I'm your host, Kimberly, and we're super excited to have you join us today. We have with us a very special guest. We have Shelly Vaklu, the head of data, and an international keynote speaker with us on the show. A very warm welcome to you, Shelly.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Kimberly.
It is super excited to have you with us on board. We're going to talk to you about a lot of questions. But before that, let me tell you what the series is all about. The Engatica interview series is a powerhouse of insights from industry experts and influencers from around the world, a platform that provides the latest news on AI, automation, and technology that will help you grow your business. So come be a part of our community where we learn, share, and grow together. Diving into my first question for you, Shelly, is how do you actually stay on top of industry trends and advancements in data analytics?
Yeah, that's a great question. I am actually super lucky that I recently became a part of Invest in Data, which is an angel investor collective. We're about 30, actually maybe 40 now, 40 plus data executives from across the country. And what we do is that together we invest in and support early stage startups that are in the data space and that are doing some sort of innovation in data. So through that, I hear a lot of pitches about what sort of data companies people are creating, what sort of problems they're trying to solve. So it's a really super cool space for me to be able to just one, learn from my fellow teammates and also sort of keep on top of what's out there. Besides that, I tend to attend a lot of conferences. I think they're a great way to just keep on top of what's going on. I speak at a lot of conferences. I think just last year I had, 25 speaking engagements. So it's, it really helps me stay on top of industry trends quite a bit.
That is awesome. I really like the conversation of how it is like the conference that you spoke about, and how actually you can get fresh perspective of the same challenge maybe that is being faced. You can get like different views, and that's really amazing. My second question to you is, how do you balance your speaking engagements with other professional and personal commitments?
Yeah, it is a wonder to me also sometimes how I do it, because I'm definitely a spreadsheet nerd. I track everything. I'm keeping track of everything that I have, and I'm trying to get a sense of what kind of time commitments I'm making. And I think I now am at a stage where, one, just to clarify, I do my speaking engagements on my own time. So they do benefit the company that I work for, but I do them on my own time because it helps me, it helps my brand, and it's something that I'm personally very passionate about. And so for me, it's important that I make time for it on my own. And I have reached that stage where I feel that it is necessary for professional development to happen outside of work as well. So it's not just something that you do at work. It's not just something you're doing 9 to 5. You're sort of spending your own time to invest in yourself, to invest in your growth. The one non-negotiable that I have is that I keep weekends very sacred. That is for my personal time. It's for my friends and family and all other sort of personal commitments that I have. And I try to keep those boundaries of, weekday is for work and other professional commitments, and the weekends are for me and my family.
That is super awesome. What do you think, on a different note, are some key skills for aspiring data analytic professionals to really develop?
Yeah, the fun thing is that when it comes to technical skills, I feel that the specific language or the specific sort of skill, like, it can keep evolving. Every day there's some new sort of technology that are coming out. But I would say there's a few things that sort of just kind of stay. So one is in the technical front, like SQL is something that just never goes out of fashion. Being able to extract data, manipulate it, like do the basics with it. Like I think the first step is SQL, and after that you have some sort of coding language. Like Python is very popular nowadays. I think that's a very good skill for people to learn. And again, those specific languages that you use for that, maybe they keep changing. But the another piece of the technical part is visualization. I think that is something that everybody has to understand, how to present data, how to actually make it make sense to the people who are going to consume those insights from it. And whether it's machine learning, whether it's analytics, like that skill just doesn't go out of fashion. And besides the technical skills, I would say there's two other things that people should care about. One is the communication piece. Data scientists in general who can really engage their audience in the data storytelling, like really explain the problem, the solutions, and run through that entire thing. I think that's really useful. It's actually something that I'm also developing a course for right now about data storytelling, because I think it's a super key piece. But lastly, I would say a business sense. Data is always meant to solve real, tangible business problems. Like if you're just solving a data problem because it sounds fun and cool, that's great, but ultimately there has to be some business value to the problems that data people are solving. So I would say that's that's sort of a really critical skill that people should try to develop.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for this, Shelby. How do you measure the impact of the insights and recommendations that you provide to companies? And how do you ensure that they are being implemented effectively?
Yeah, that is something that as a data leader, it's usually not my job to create the product roadmap, but I greatly benefit when that is done well, when that is done effectively, when that is communicated effectively in a company. So for me, in my capacity as a data leader, I always insist in companies that I work for that we should be measuring everything, we should be reporting on it, and we should be unifying a product roadmap for the entire company and adding the little pieces that this is what marketing is taking care of, this is what this other team is taking care of. And then we are in a better position to have a data roadmap that supports that entire sort of unified roadmap for the company. So I would say that for me, like, of course, I input into the larger company roadmap, but I own, like in the last two companies, like I have owned the data roadmap pieces. And I want to make sure that the data roadmap also has that same accountability built in, that it is saying these are our deliverables, these are our success measures. And anytime a company really invests in that accountability piece, where you know that this is the outcome we're hoping for, and this is how we know we're winning. Because if you just phrase it as we're going to ship this and we're going to ship that, that's just shipping something. It's not actually shipping impact. And so you have to measure that impact. And that's the part that I'm very careful about, that we're not just measuring feature completion, we're actually measuring the impact of what we shipped in terms of core business KPIs that are being improved.
Yes, this was definitely something new that the way you actually look about is actually taking active participation in creating the roadmap of the product. And I feel that also like gives you brownie points into understanding the proper structure of it. Thank you so much, Shelby. Are there any other sound bites you'd like to share with our audience before we conclude?
Yeah, well, tech is definitely having a moment right now. I think there's a lot of just interesting things going on in the market with the economy and things like that. And I would say that the market is rapidly changing, but the people who win in this type of a market are the ones who are aware of everything that's going on, who are taking active steps to keep their skills current, to keep their network strong, because you want to invest in all of these things before you need it, right? Like I know the market has been affected by a lot of layoffs and just a lot of general churn, and nobody should be waiting for that to happen. Like you should be proactively taking steps to sort of make sure you're in the best position possible, regardless of what happens, which is not in your control. And for that, I'd say that people who learn to advocate for themselves in the roles that they already have or in the roles that they might get, that's again a critical skill that people should try to develop. Like self-advocacy is something that I care very, very deeply about, and I hope that people consciously seek out to hone in their skills on that front as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Shelby. This was an amazing conversation. We really loved your energy. Thank you so much for your valuable insights.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Thank you so much. For more content, subscribe to Engati and tap the bell icon so you get access to exclusive content coming from thought leaders from around the world. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the new expert soon.